Hi friends, happy Labor Day. A lot of kids picked up some new work packets because we do not yet have our technology. So we got to make do in the meantime. We've got to set up some really great routines at home. I want to take a few minutes to explain this. This is the stuff we're going to be doing really every week, even when we have technology. This is the stuff that's really, really important in first grade. This first grade is all about building fluency. And fluency means, with reading and with math, that we become really quick and correct. So with words, with sight words, it's the words that we cannot sound out. With math, it's our facts. So we need to become really quick and correct. So we don't have to waste our brain power sounding things out that are really challenging to do. So this packet says steps 1 and 2 each week. Read and study your spelling words and your bonus words. And read and study, practice your high frequency words. All of that is on the first page. Every week, our spelling list matches the story that we're reading with our reading book. This one is called Sam Come Back. And so all of our spelling words have the same pattern. They all have a short A. They say ah, ah. So the cool thing about this, when you're studying, in your folder, you get a whole pack of index cards. When you're studying, you could make yourself a flashcard. And with the spelling words, you could take a challenge and you could make yourself a word family on the back. So don't sell yourself short. Don't just learn the one word back. Think about all of the other words that end in ack and think about what you could learn. Okay? So that's step 1. Now, notice the bonus. Sometimes they'll be a little different. Sometimes the bonus and the high frequency words will be the same. These are words, sometimes you can sound them out. Sometimes they're a little bit harder to sound out. So I would always make flashcards of your high frequency words. We also call these sight words. You've got to memorize these words. You don't want to waste your brain power figuring these out. Okay, now we're down to step 3. Step 3 is take a look at these. They're called daily fix-its. They're sentences that are all messed up. Write on these. Make corrections. Look for the errors. Talk with your grown-up. We will be doing these together when we have technology and we link together with our morning meeting. But right now, just try to figure them out with your grown-up. What's the matter with them and how can you make them correct? So that's step 3. Now step 4 is a really important one. And it's kind of tricky. Once I explain it though, it'll be super easy and fun. Step 4 is about your fluency speed. Okay. Here's the big question to think about with this. It says homework. You're doing it at home. The big question is, how many words can you read correctly by yourself in 1 minute? So this is independent. Now, if you get stuck when you're reading, because your grown-up is going to time you for 1 minute. If you get stuck on a word, your grown-up can underline that word. They can tell you that word, but then that word is not going to count for you. And don't think you have to cheat because you want to get better and better every day. So let's say I only can read this many words the first day. No big deal. The next day, I try to read this many words. And the next day, I go a little bit farther. So you want to try to get an ATB, an all-time best, every day. So what your grown-up is going to do, they're going to set a timer for 1 minute. Okay? You're going to read independently. That means by yourself. Now, if you get stuck, they're not going to make you just sit there. They're going to tell you that word, but then they're going to underline that word because it doesn't count for you if you didn't read it. But then you can keep going. And after the minute is up, they're going to write down how many words that you read, how many mistakes you may have made, no big deal. We learn from those. And then how many total number of words you read correctly. Okay? Now, on Thursday, after you've read this story, also, I didn't say this, grown-ups, read this to them first. Point to each word as you read it so they can see the text before you start, okay? On Thursday, after you've read the story, then you can answer these questions. And your grown-up can help you write them. And remember, if you can think about an answer and you can say the answer, you can write it. What we've been practicing in class is something called touching and telling. I know it sounds kind of weird, but if I'm saying, what does Dan have? I'm going to plan my answer. Dan has a... I'm not going to tell you the answer. Okay. Touch and tell. Plan what you're going to say, and then you can do your best. Don't worry if it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. The last thing on this is called your speed drill. Okay. Here's how it works. Your grown-up is going to see how long it takes you to read a whole page. So they are going to set a timer that counts up, like a stopwatch timer, like a racing timer. And they want to see how long it takes you to read this whole page. But look, these words are repeated again and again. So you choose. Do you want to go straight down the rows? Do you want to go across? Actually, sorry, that's a column, that's a row. You choose. But you want to go as quickly as you can. And each day, you want to try to get an all-time best. You want to beat your speed. And you will. You'll go faster and faster and faster. Okay? I know that's a lot of information, but this should help you to establish some routines. Now, I hear it takes 40 days to make or break a habit. So it's going to take us a little while to get used to this, but practice. Practice, okay? If you have questions, text me.